Major Gregory is just waiting for the band to make their way to the Old College steps and take their position.
Will form to right. Form to right. In open order. Right. Rest.
This is often considered one of the more comical parts of any parade as the officer cadets shuffle themselves into the correct position ahead of the arrival of the inspecting officer. I must say, they're all looking especially smart today, and they've worked very hard to get themselves into the position where they are now, so well done to everyone on parade today.
Light person, just forward. Still. Eight person, carry on, just back slightly. Still. Stand still! The front rank! Face over two! Still! Stand still! The front rank! 38 platoon! Still! Stand still! The front rank! 39 platoon! Still! Stand still! The front rank! 41 platoon! Hey! Eyes out! 10!
Hey! Stand up! 8. Stand easy.
So that is the parade now in position, awaiting the arrival of today's inspecting officer. One of the most obvious things that you've probably identified so far is that some of those on parade are dressed differently to the others. We have individuals both in number 1 ceremonial order, that is the dark blue attire, and then we have individuals in their number 2 attire, which is known as service dress, that is the clothing that is of khaki colour. And why that happens is the commissioning corps short is unique in that we have different flavours of individual on parade today. And by that I mean those in the khaki dress are our regular professionally qualified officers. Those are individuals who hold professional qualifications and will use those qualifications during their time in the military. So individuals such as doctors, lawyers, chaplains, nurses. We also have individuals in the number 1 ceremonial dress. Those are our reserve officers, they are our international students, and they are our army interns. The reserve officers are either direct entry, by that I mean they have come straight here and will join their units as reserve officers, or they are already at a reserve unit and they have come here and are converting their service from that of a soldier to being an officer. Our army interns are going to leave the academy after the commissioning course short and spend up to a year with a regular unit, either before or after their time at university. And then finally, we have our international cadets also wearing the number 1 ceremonial dress today. There are 3 international cadets on parade today, 2 from Kosovo and 1 from Iceland. Whilst we wait for the inspecting officer, Belinda, would you like to tell us a little bit about the band?
Absolutely. So, as you said, Jack, there is a vast variety of individuals on parade today, and behind the parade, upon the steps of Old College, is the band. The band is the Sandhurst Band, the British Army Band Sandhurst, and the Director of Music is Captain B.M. Waters of the Royal Army Corps of Music. The music that you heard when the parade marched on was Punjab by Payne and Soldiers of the Queen by Stewart. And as the officer cadets on parade await the arrival of the inspecting officer, the band will play State Occasion by Farnan.
Thank you, Belinda. As people are so often interested, let's have a little chat about the character on screen now. That is Boris, who is a young Irish charger. And unusually for a horse on parade, he is not a former military working horse like some of the other horses in the stable. Those horses, known by the names of Falklands and Sovereign Shadow, have come from Knightsbridge and have performed on many Queen's birthday parades, also known as Trooping the Colour. Whereas Boris is not an ex-military working horse, so he can be a little bit frisky on parade, but I'm sure he'll do himself and Major Gregory proud today. This will be Major Dan Gregory's final commissioning course short parade as he leaves the academy at the end of this term. As I said, he is of the King's Royal Hussars, and that explains the regalia that he's wearing on his person today.
Hurry! Come!
Let's listen in now as the inspecting officer arrives.
The inspecting officer, Lieutenant General Sir Ben Bathurst, is accompanied by Colonel Phaedra McLean, TD, who is the Deputy Commandant of Sandhurst Group, Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. As you can see, they're making their way up the entrance to the parade square, where they will arrive behind the dais and move into position. Once the inspecting officer is in position, he will inspect the parade in open order, and later he will address the parade following the march in quick time. We will explain more as the parade progresses.
Hurry! General, salute! Salute!
Good morning, General. Mission Corps Short 213, formed up with 100 personnel on parade and are awaiting your inspection. May I have your leave? Carry on, sir, please.
Yes, please, Major Gregory.
That tricky manoeuvre you just saw the Old College adjutant perform there, the reversing of the horse, is traditional in that it allows the parade commander not to turn their back on the inspecting officer, a skill that Major Gregory has mastered over his time at the academy. We also had our first shot of the friends and families in the stands at today's parade. In contrast to parades of terms gone by, cadets have each been allowed to have 10 guests at today's parade, which really is exceptional, and it is great to have so many people join us here today and experience this fabulous parade.
It's absolutely worth mentioning as well how grateful we are for those of you who have tuned in via Facebook due to either being at a different place in the world or indeed not able to join their guests here with us at Sandhurst today. So as we can see now, General Sir Ben Bathurst has commenced his inspection of the troops on parade. He's begun at 37 Platoon with Officer Cadet Jassam currently, who is commissioning into the Intelligence Corps. As you can see, the inspecting officer and his party will make their way down the front rank, and then they will make their way down the rear rank. 37th Platoon are led by Captain Belinda Miller, which is myself, and Colour Sergeant Hearn, who you can see on parade. The majority of the members of 37th Platoon formed up for commissioning course short on the 25th of September. Due to the modular nature of the course, some members of the platoon have joined since. However, as you can see, the collective platoon will be on parade for that final commissioning day, which is today.
And now the inspecting officer makes his way to 38 Platoon, which is led ably by Colour Sergeant Tom Clues, who you can see there with his pay stick, and supported by myself, Captain Jack Clark. The inspecting officer is first speaking to Padre Burke, who is part of the chaplaincy corps, and he will be joining 15 Signal Regiment as their unit chaplain. Next, the inspecting officer is speaking with Officer Cadet Sally who has joined us from Kosovo for the 8-week course, one of 3 international cadets here on parade today.
Lieutenant General Bathurst is a graduate of the University of Bristol, and he commissioned into the Welsh Guards in 1987. However, he almost certainly remembers his own commissioning day as vividly as all commissioned officers from Sandhurst do.
The inspecting officer has just spoken with Officer Cadet Goodman, who is joining the Royal Army Dental Corps. And it was very nice to see this morning she has been joined at the academy by her husband and her infant son, Lucas, come today to watch their mum on parade. And the final individual the inspecting officer is speaking to from 38 Platoon is Officer Cadet Marshall, who is an Army intern. Following his time at the academy, after a short period of well-earned leave, he will be joining 3 Parachute Regiment for a 1-year internship. As the inspecting officer now moves on to 39 Platoon, the 3rd and final platoon from Denton Company, the 3rd of 4 platoons on parade today, we can get a closer look at some of the different uniforms that are on display for today. The individual being spoken to now is joining the Queen's Alexandra's Royal Army Nursing Corps. The inspecting officer is speaking now with Officer Cadet Berbatocci, the other officer cadet from Kosovo. Hopefully you can get a sense of the real diversity of cap badges and careers that the people on parade will have following their time at the academy.
Later on in the parade, there will be 4 awards: the Champion's Shield for the top platoon, the International Cadet Award, the top regular officer, and the top Army Reserve officer. Those cadets are currently on parade right now and will be inspected. However, when it comes to the awards, we will explain the process. As we can hear during the inspection, we had the Parade of the Charioteers being played by the band by Rosa R. Grace, and now we can hear Old Town Road by Resner R. Merthyr.
as we finish dancing here in the commentary booth, I'd just like to talk to you a little bit more about the 99 officer cadets on parade today. There are 41 regular professionally qualified officers, and those individuals are joining either the Royal Army Medical Corps as a doctor, physio or pharmacist, the Royal Army Dental Corps as a dentist, the Queen's Alexandra's Royal Army Nursing Corps as a nurse, the Adjutants General Corps Army Legal Service as a lawyer, and finally the Royal Army Chaplaincy Department. So those are our 41 regularly professionally qualified officers. As I spoke about earlier, those individuals who are in their number 2 service dress, the khaki coloured uniform today. These individuals arrived at the Academy with a commission, but today marks the day that that commission is confirmed, and it's the first time that they get to wear their rank. Other individuals on today, we have 44 Army Reserve officers joining a wide range of units across the country. We have individuals joining the Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers, the Royal Logistic Corps, the Intelligence Corps, the Royal Engineers, the Honourable Artillery Company, the Royal Wessex Yeomanry, the Duke of Lancaster's Regiment, the Rifles, the Army Air Corps, and many, many more. We have our 3 international officer cadets, as we spoke about, the 2 individuals from Kosovo and the 1 individual from Iceland. We have 8 Army officer interns joining the Rifles Parachute Regiment, Royal Gurkha Rifles, Royal Army Medical Corps, and the Intelligence Corps. Just a word on our reserve officers on parade today, all 44 of them. Many of them have full-time jobs, and their reserve service is something that they are able to do in their spare time. But some of the experiences we've got on parade amongst our reserve officers, we have a neuroscientist, a paramedic, environmental health officer, event coordinator, chemical engineer, cybersecurity officer, private security contractor, head teacher, and a barista. So lots of experience here on display on today's parade, and lots of experience being brought into the Army Reserves.
Those on parade today have worked so hard during their commissioning course, ironing, polishing, sorting out absolutely everything that they require to be as smart as they are on parade, and it really is a delight to see them having those conversations today with the inspecting officer with a little smile on their face, especially as the band plays "I'm Still Standing." The inspecting officer will now move to the rear of the parade to meet the bandmaster, Captain Bethan Waters, and indeed inspect the band.
The individual you just heard give the stand at ease word of command is Warrant Officer Class 2 Company Sergeant Major Richard Archer of the Grenadier Guards. As a few of the permanent staff on parade, it is also Sergeant Major Archer's final parade and final day at the Academy. He has served here as both a colour sergeant and as a Company Sergeant Major, so we thank Company Sergeant Major Richard Archer for his time and service at the Academy. With Belinda and myself both being responsible for the delivery of training on the commissioning course short, we can attest to the pace of the course over the last 8 weeks. In such a short space of time, the cadets deploy on 4 field exercises and have experienced every weather that the Great British environment has to throw at the officer cadets. It has been one of the most inclement courses in terms of the weather that I have ever experienced, so it really is a testament to the cadets' resolve. So the inspecting officer now will make his way back to the dais. Major Gregory will then approach and ask permission to march the officer cadets passed in quick time.
Hurry! Hurry! Come! Post order! March! Hurry! Will form 3 ranks. Form 3 ranks. Hurry! Will march past in quick time. Move to the right in column of 3. Right! Turn! All right, by the left. Quick. March!
Led by the All College adjutant, the officer cadets will now march past the dais, forming an eyes right in the direction of the inspecting officer. You can see they are flanked on all sides by members of their permanent staff, their colour sergeant instructors, and at the rear by the Company Sergeant Major once again, Company Sergeant Major Richard Archer of the Grenadier Guards. You can see from the instructors we have a wide range of cap badges on display here at the Academy, and these are the best individuals that the Army has to offer, and as officer cadets they are very lucky to have such expert tuition here during their time at the Academy.
The music you can hear in the background by the Sandhurst Band is that of Colchester Castle by Brigham. Thereafter we will have The Rising of the Lark, which is from the Welsh Guards by Grant R. Cappy.
And what a fantastic shot that is there. The autumnal colours in the background as the cadets make their way towards the inspecting officer led by the All College adjutant. I must say everyone looks particularly smart today and the drill really has been on point. I'm sure everyone is especially proud of those that they have on parade today. Let's listen in.
The eyes right as a salute to the dais is made are conducted by every member of the platoon, less the individual on the front right, whose job it is to keep the rest of the platoon marching in a straight line. From 37 platoon today, that role falls to Padre Andrew Barton.
Just coming past shot there is Staff Sergeant Garung of the Queen's Gurkha Signals, the senior NCO for 39 platoon, and right there in the centre of shot is Staff Corporal Thompson of the Lifeguards of the Household Cavalry, the senior NCO for 41 platoon.
In 1972, RMAS became the sole establishment for male initial officer training in the British Army. And in 1984, the Women's Officer Training College was also merged with Sandhurst, which brought the reserves and regular women's training here. A new commissioning course finally unified the training of male and female and overseas cadets in 1992. And today it brings me great pride to say that there are 25 women commissioning into the British Army today.
Parade now getting in position ahead of their advancing review order towards the dais.
Parade will advance in review order. By the centre. Quick. March. Parade. Stand at 8. Stand easy.
The parade marching in review order, advancing in review order to the music of the British Grenadiers.
We'll now listen to the address from the inspecting officer.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honour for me to be here today, and I'd like to thank the Commandant for inviting me, and for the British Army Band Sandhurst for such excellent music. I joined as a guardsman at the Guard Stepper at Purbright in 1982. By 1983, I was here at Sandhurst to do the short commissioning course prior to university. So I know exactly what you've been through and the challenges you've faced. I also know that your respect for the inspecting officer will be inversely proportional to the length of his or her speech. So I'll keep it short, because you'll want to get off parade and be reunited with your families. You now know how to keep your room and kit immaculate. But I apologise in advance to your families that that particular skill does not seem to be transferable to your veterans back home. You've learnt about the Army's core values, achieved an impressive level of fitness, how to administer yourself in barracks, how to shoot, how to operate in the field, and much more. But above all, you've learnt how to lead. But this is just the beginning. So it is important to be humble throughout. And even after 38 years in the Army, I'm still learning. So continuous improvement is our watchword. You've achieved all of this in a short period of time, although it will seem like a lifetime to you. Your families will marvel how much you've changed, even if you don't think you have. I'd like to thank particularly your instructors for coaching you all the way through, presenting you with challenges that you thought were beyond you, and yet you succeeded, building your confidence the while. So on your behalf, particularly to those instructors for whom it is their last parade, I'd like to extend our collective thanks for the fantastic job you've done, and not least on the drill, which has been excellent. I could give you a lot more advice, but I'm not going to, because I know the Commandant has precisely tailored the course to teach you everything you need to know at this stage of your career. I will, however, give you one tip to help you get established as an officer, and that is to drink more tea. At this point, you probably think I've lost the plot, but there is a serious message here, and it is this. If you wander around your regiment or battalion, saying just a few words to soldiers you see in passing, you'll never get to know them properly, or to find out what is really going on in their lives. Crucially, you won't get them to reveal what is on their mind. If you rush around all the time, you'll miss vital opportunities to reassure them, and go some way to helping put things right. Even worse, when you know things are not quite right and soldiers are unhappy, the instinct can be to avoid hearing unwelcome facts. So the answer in all cases is to spend more time over a brew and talk to them about it. And that time they'll open up to you, and even if you can't solve all their problems, at least you will have listened. And that will have a significant impact on those soldiers you serve. So that's it. The course has taught you all you need to get started as an officer. I've given you an invaluable tip that will remember the rest of your career, and the rest is now up to you. So very many congratulations on commissioning. I wish you all the best in your careers, and I look forward to serving with all of you in the British Army, or alongside you as NATO allies such as Iceland, or key partners such as Kosovo. Thank you.
Wise and powerful words there from the inspecting officer. As a Yorkshireman, I can concur on the importance of having a good brew with your soldiers. We're now about to move into the prize giving.
The award for the Best International Student. This is awarded to the International Officer Cadet considered by the directing staff to be the best in the course. This is awarded to Officer Cadet Fulberg of Iceland.
Officer Cadet Katrina Fulberg of 37th moves forward to receive her award from General Bathurst. Officer Cadet Fulberg, born in Latvia, and lives in Brussels currently, however she is Icelandic. She's 19 years old, arrived at the age of 18 and has celebrated her 19th birthday whilst on this course. Officer Cadet Fulberg has performed to a very, very high standard on this course, has absolutely done herself proud, and is a focal point and an absolute favourite within her platoon. As her platoon commander, I wish her my greatest congratulations for having won this award today.
This is awarded to the Officer Cadet on the Army Internship Programme, which is considered by the directing staff to be the best in the course. This is awarded to Officer Cadet Roebuck of the Rifles.
Officer Cadet Ed Roebuck receives the Sandhurst Cane for being the best Army intern on the course. Officer Cadet Roebuck chose not to tell his family that he received this award, so I expect they're sat in the stands now, very surprised. Officer Cadet Roebuck hails from North Yorkshire and was a colour sergeant within the CCF at St Peter's School in York, and I'm sure the team there are very proud of him today, as we all are. Well done to Officer Cadet Ed Roebuck, who takes his Sandhurst Cane from the inspecting officer. Officer Cadet Roebuck will be joining 3 rifles in Edinburgh.
The sword is awarded to the regular professional white officer considered by the directing staff to be the best in the course. This is awarded to Officer Cadet MacDonald of the Royal Army Medical Corps.
Officer Cadet Adam MacDonald will now be presented the Cooley Sword, presented to the best professionally qualified officer on the course. Officer Cadet MacDonald is from Cambridge and has always aspired to be in the British Armed Forces since being inspired by a veteran on his school's teaching staff, as well as dreaming of becoming a doctor and pursuing a career in medicine. He attended medical school in the University of Sheffield, graduating in 2019, and he is a member of the Army Reserve for 4 years during his medical school before he completed the regular commissioning course. My very greatest congratulations to Officer Cadet MacDonald, Adam MacDonald, for all he's achieved on this course, and wish him the very best for the future.
the McRobert Sword. The McRobert Sword is awarded to the officer cadet judged by the directing staff to the best of the intake. The sword was donated by the McRobert Family Trust and crafted by Paul Swords Limited. The commission called short 213, the McRobert Sword is awarded to officer cadet Ormiston of the infantry.
And finally, Officer Cadet Ormiston received the McRobert Sword for being the best reserve officer on the commissioning course short and also being the best overall officer cadet on the commissioning course short. When not working with reserves, Officer Cadet Ormiston is a doctor, and he describes his greatest achievement as setting the world record for rowing across the Atlantic Ocean completely unsupported in a 5-man team. The record time was 36 days, 19 hours and 9 minutes. A cracking effort, and a cracking effort on the last 8 weeks to Officer Cadet Ormiston. Well done.
Please carry on, sir,
We're about to move into the final part of today's parade as the Officer Cadets conduct an inward turn and will shortly ascend the Old College steps.
They will march off in slow time to the music God Bless the Prince of Wales by Richards.
Hurry! Hurry! Come! General, salute! Salute!
Very well, that concludes the parade. May I have your leave to march commissioning course short 213 up the steps and the band off parade. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, Major Gregory. Please do. Well done, very good parade, and well written.
Thank you very much, sir.
The inspecting officer congratulating Major Gregory and the team on an excellent parade. The band are just making their way now off the Old College steps to make way for the officer cadets to make their way up the Old College steps and into the grand entrance of the college itself.
And one of the most spectacular elements of the parade, for which Sandhurst is renowned for, is that of the horse, which will follow those officer cadets up the steps into Old College.
I'm reliably told that the way you get the horse up the steps is to just hold on and hope for the best. I think the horses are more experienced than some of the riders. Perhaps not the case with Major Gregory, who is an experienced rider. But I'm sure it will be a spectacle for us all to see in a few moments' time.
Hurry! We'll form 2 ranks. Form 2 ranks. Dressing. Inward. Dress. Inward wheel by the centre. Quick. March.
All 4 platoons now making their way up the Old College steps, slow marching as they go. They will be followed by the 4 prize winners, and finally by the Old College adjutant.
As the first cadets reach the bottom of the steps, the doors of Old College will open to welcome them in. As the band now play Old Lang Syne.
And another really brilliant shot here from inside the grand entrance as we see the officer cadets of Dettingen and Malay Company make their way into Old College.
Congratulations to Officer Cadet Pyle, just walking past the camera there.
I expect some of you are seeing some familiar faces. I'm reliably informed that Officer Cadet Shepherd's grandparents are watching, and I've been told to say hello to Terence, so I hope you've enjoyed this morning's parade, as we all have. So very shortly we should see our 4 prize winners. First of all, there is Officer Cadet Ford of Iceland. Officer Cadet Roebuck.
Officer Cadet Adam MacDonald.
And Officer Cadet Ormston. And finally, the Old College Adjutant, Major Daniel Gregory of the King's Royal Hussars, atop Boris, the young Irish Charger. Well done to both of them and everyone on parade today. And that just leaves Belinda and I to say a final thank you for watching this live stream today on Facebook. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all saw some familiar faces. And from me and Belinda, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.